to the Ghana ICT Hub, a partnership between MTN Ghana and the Government of Ghana through the Ministry of Communications and Digitization. MTN pledged to support Ghana's digitization agenda in line with its ambition to lead the delivery of digital solutions for Africa's progress. In fulfillment of this pledge, MTN Ghana has committed $25 million toward the realization of the Ghana ICT Hub project. The objectives of the Ghana ICT Hub project is anchored on the following: to create an ICT-enabled environment for human capital and ICT skills development, to develop an ICT ecosystem through remote access delivery to facilitate job creation for national development, to provide a modern, state-of-the-art physical infrastructure to serve as a pillar for the digital Ghana agenda. The physical infrastructure, when completed, will provide 4,000 square meters of space with the following facilities: laboratories for technology training and research, innovation hub, co-working spaces for tech innovation startups, Tier 3 data center, conferencing facilities, offices and meeting rooms, commercial lettable spaces, gaming area, restaurant, ancillary facilities. The technology laboratories will be fitted with the next generation ICT equipment and applications to provide the youth of Ghana with practical training in Industry 4.0 technologies such as artificial intelligence, AI, machine learning, cloud computing, 3D printing, robotics, Internet of Things, IoT, advanced manufacturing techniques, cybersecurity, genetic engineering. The project also seeks to establish a complete ecosystem at the hub through remote access delivery to facilitate job creation for national development. The ecosystem shall comprise of MDAs, technology companies, startups, incubators, research agencies, leading universities globally, foundations worldwide, to create a community. 1. The ecosystem community shall bridge the divide between academia and industry and provide solutions to challenges in the key sectors of health, agriculture, and educational sectors of the economy. 2. It shall also run an innovation program providing mentoring and networking for the youth in tech startups. 3. The ecosystem community shall establish an innovation fund to support startups, research agencies, and other entities in the ecosystem. MTN Ghana and the Ministry of Communications and Digitization are championing the Ghana digital agenda for Ghana's development. Welcome to the digital age.
Now, Mommy, you first can see about Kotoso. Pepoga, send me sika from Lemonade Finance. Brian did the shade and let me £2.
Lemonade Finance.
Say they're sending money back home from UK, Canada, and now US. I accept it. Instant charges. Exchange waiting in so unbeatable. We should me promo code Dr. Like Nenya £10, $10 and $10 Canadian for the first transaction. With this send this coffee, download to Lemonade Finance.
Later on, became sick and became deafblind. And I was brought here to continue my education.
Miss Selma Pepper is one of the very few deafblind persons in society. The fact is, most of them are either neglected or abandoned altogether. But this young lady is writing a special narrative of her life. We are going to speak with her to find out about her plans, her ambitions, and then find out from her what persons in society can do for persons like her or persons living with her condition.
Sylvia Abna Pepper's story, as the first of her kind to attain high academic heights, is one to behold. The 34-year-old deafblind woman from Bremai, Esikuma in the central region lived her life as a normal child until age 7, when a strange illness led to her admission at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. With the assistance of Theodore Ackley, one of her former instructors at the deaf-blind department of Mampong School for the Deaf, Sylvia tells us her story.
Normal school.
Okay, he started normal school.
I was a child.
When he was a child.
Before I attended special school.
Before later on she came to special school. Continue. What happened for you to stop normal school?
Because that time I was seeing and hearing.
Okay, I had normal vision, I had normal hearing, so I went to regular school.
At most early at
Mass Holy Heart Preparatory School
of Mataiko,
Accra. Later on, became sick and became deaf-blind. And I was brought here to continue my education.
2000.
In the year 2017 or 2000.
I was there.
She had to change schools due to her condition and ended up attending the School for the Blind at Mampong, Ikuapem, and the Demonstration School for the Deaf for her senior high school education.
I did general arts.
History,
economics,
and
CRS,
religious and
complex.
I
Secondary high school.
Senior high school.
2015.
Which school did you complete?
Senior high school.
And FBS.
So I returned to Center for Deaf Children here to offer voluntary work for 2 years. I continued to with my education. University of Education. Whenever.
Central region.
Okay.
I did rehabilitation.
I did rehabilitation.
Diploma.
In
2017.
2017
2019.
to 2019.
I passed with credits.
I passed with
Christmas
credits.
Degree.
I completed degree from 2019 to 2021.
I did the same class, rehabilitation, community versus rehabilitation and disability state.
She recalls how her parents were told to stop doing everything for her when she enrolled into the School for the Blind, as her instructor said she would be trained to be independent. Sylvia is now capable of undertaking some basic responsibilities for herself, including cooking, washing, sweeping, cleaning, and many others.
When I came here, at first, I didn't know what to do. I couldn't communicate sign language. But because of this center, now I have acquired a lot of skills. Thank you.
When I come to this school, then the teacher around them.
My family did not support me at first, but when I came to this center, teachers here encouraged my family to support me at first. But at first, I didn't receive. They did everything for me whilst I was young. But when I came here, teachers advised my parents to stop doing everything for me, but rather train me with skills to do it on my own.
Currently waiting for government employment after her national service, the young woman occupies herself doing voluntary work with the deaf-blind department of the Demonstration School for the Deaf.
Two is about our gym work. We have our gym in the classroom over there. She has not visited the place, but our sports. Now we have activity inside the classroom over there. Outside. And here some other activity can be done here. So you prefer to work here? It doesn't matter. That is your idea. That is your idea. But now I am not asking for suggestion. We have planned activities ready to go. Later, ball can come in. Okay, that's it. Okay, so later, so that is good. Over there, we have bicycle. We have activities like rolling on the floor. Then we have rest up. And you never entered there. You don't know. So today, let's go there so that you see who pass in the classroom. Now, what do you want to do? What are you do right now? You go with us? Okay.
I did the same class repetition. This is repetition.
Sylvia's future aspirations include working with the Ghana Education Service, particularly with deafblind children, and establish an NGO to support deafblind kids in Ghana.
To work in Ghana Education Service with deafblind children. I want to open new NGO also. So two aspirations. We want to work in Ghana Education Service, and then whilst working, she wants to establish her own NGO.
All right.
What do you want to do with your NGO?
To earn that we have deafblind kids in Ghana.
Okay. I want to support deafblind children in Ghana.
All right.
I want to create awareness and then support deafblind children in Ghana.
She stressed that children with disabilities must be sent to school like other children to access education or some training.
I want to advise people that if there are people, children with disability, especially deafblind children, or low vision,
living with
people living with disability,
they must allow them to send the children.
They must bring the children to school. They must bring them to special school because schooling is very important for all children in the world.
Asked if she has men expressing love interest in her, She answered in the negative.
Does she have anybody now?
Do you have anybody marry you now? No. Not done with you.
However, she hopes to meet a caring man who she would get married to in the near future.
Now I'm not married, but in future,
Yes, in future,
I want to marry.
but I work with God and to God to
Only I want God to lead me to a good husband who will stay with me forever.
To keep her occupied and raise some capital, she crafts some artwork such as doormats, bed mats, praying mats for Muslims, among others. Though she currently has a personal site guide who voluntarily supports her in her day-to-day activities, she is appealing for some assistance to employ a full-time personal guide and interpreter.
I have a man
Okay, have some challenging example.
I have a problem with assistant grade.
You are praying with what again? Okay, I have a problem with a site guide. I need somebody to guide me. And an interpreter, personal interpreter. So I want someone to help me.
Everywhere I go, that's government.
I want someone to assist me. Okay. If somebody can support to pay a guide or pay an interpreter, I will be happy. I can see, I can hear, I depend on people for my all my activities. I want government to help me so that I have to employ a site guide for me so that life can be a little bit comfortable.
She's also appealing for a braille computer to enable her lead an independent life.
I need computer with braille display which can help me to receive information.
I'm sure you've been inspired by the thrilling story of Miss Sylvia Pepper, who has put aside all the odds to ensure that she climbed the academic ladder to the highest level. And she's also determined to do more to impact society. From the deafblind department of the Bible, the cafe demonstration school for the deaf, Michael Bettors for GhanaWeb TV.
Welcome to the Ghana ICT Hub, a partnership between MTN Ghana and the Government of Ghana through the Ministry of Communications and Digitization. MTN pledged to support Ghana's digitization agenda in line with its ambition to lead the delivery of digital solutions for Africa's progress. In fulfillment of this pledge, MTN Ghana has committed $25 million toward the realization of the Ghana ICT Hub project. The objectives of the Ghana ICT Hub project is anchored on the following: to create an ICT-enabled environment for human capital and ICT skills development, to develop an ICT ecosystem through remote access delivery to facilitate job creation for national development, to provide a modern, state-of-the-art physical infrastructure to serve as a pillar for the digital Ghana agenda. The physical infrastructure, when completed, will provide 4,000 square meters of space with the following facilities: laboratories for technology training and research, innovation hub, co-working spaces for tech innovation startups, Tier 3 data center, conferencing facilities, offices and meeting rooms, commercial lettable spaces, gaming area, restaurant, ancillary facilities. The technology laboratories will be fitted with the next generation ICT equipment and applications to provide the youth of Ghana with practical training in Industry 4.0 technologies such as artificial intelligence, AI, machine learning, cloud computing, 3D printing, robotics, Internet of Things, IoT, advanced manufacturing techniques, cybersecurity, genetic engineering. The project also seeks to establish a complete ecosystem at the hub through remote access delivery to facilitate job creation for national development. The ecosystem shall comprise of MDAs, technology companies, startups, incubators, research agencies, leading universities globally, foundations worldwide, to create a community. 1. The ecosystem community shall bridge the divide between academia and industry and provide solutions to challenges in the key sectors of health, agriculture, and educational sectors of the economy. 2. It shall also run an innovation program providing mentoring and networking for the youth in tech startups. 3. The ecosystem community shall establish an innovation fund to support startups, research agencies, and other entities in the ecosystem. MTN Ghana and the Ministry of Communications and Digitization are championing the Ghana Digital Agenda for Ghana's development. Welcome to the digital age.
Now,
Obek Kanokre. Susu sang kwai bia wan to nam bia e man kwai bebre.
Mommy, you face can see about Kotoso. Pepoga, send me sika from Lemonade Finance. While Brian did the shit and let me £2.
Lemonade Finance.
Say they're sending money back home from UK, Canada, and now US. I accepted a instant charges. Extinguishing in Suya. Unbeatable. We should make promo code Dr. Like £10, $10, and $10 Canadian for the first transaction. What is send this guy download to Lemonade Finance.
Yeah, the motivation is that looking at the economy is very hard. There is no work for the youth. We are struggling to get something to, manage ourselves.
Akufo-Addo's government has been on a journey of expanding the country's tax base. One of the most recent ones is a 10% tax on earnings from lotteries, games of chances, or what we call sports bettings. This is Say It Loud on GhanaWeb TV. My name is Echi Atisu. We are here in Dome, Pillar 2. We're speaking with some young men who have been engaged in the act of betting, which is very popular. Let's speak to some of them. This is Richard. Richard, you are the one who penned the statement from the Concerned Bettors Association of Ghana. Okay, tell me, what exactly is the motivation to have penned that letter?
Yeah, the motivation is that looking at the economy is very hard. There is no work for the youth. We are struggling to get something to, manage ourselves. So street boys have been struggling to get something to go and try their luck, to get something to establish themselves. So if you are putting a 10% tax on betting, those who are betting, is something which is very bad, because already they have taxed the company. So if you are taxing those who are into betting, that is very bad.
It sounds like this is beyond just the monies you get. I want us to more or less understand where all of this is coming from. Why betting is such a big deal for all of you. Abednego, you also bet, right? Why do you actually bet?
Just to multiply my income. Yes.
So that's to say that the income you get already is not it's not enough for you?
Not at all.
At all?
Not at all.
At all?
Not at all.
Pablo, do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. Because let's take it. Last year, we were our fare was increased multiple of times. Like
that's our fuel, right?
Yeah, it was increased, and it affected our fare. So let's take it. I'm being paid 400 cedis a month, and I save 50 cedis every month out of my salary. And now it has been what? The fares has been increased several times, like 4 times or 5 times in that year. So if I'm earning that 50 cedis, I'm saving that 50 cedis for maybe to get a business being done. And now, because of the multiplier of the fares and things that are being, the economy we are all facing, then that means that 50 cedis I can save.
So that's to say that for you, it's being able to balance the increase in livelihoods,
yes,
and all of that. Levite, you also bet. Yeah. I want to find out, how long have you been betting?
For 4 years now, I would say.
4 years? Well, that's a long time. And that means that you've made a lot of money between the period?
Quite.
A sizable amount.
Yeah.
And you also agree with the likes of Pablo and Richard that this is to add up to your income?
Yeah, very true. Because, for instance, I'm a student, and it's not all the time that you can go to your parents for money. And right now, you don't have a really legit certificate for a job, so you can't get really a big job, that can fetch you enough income. So this is what we do, quite safe, And if you read the letter, things were captured in. If the government go ahead to implement this 10% on this winnings, then guys will go back to the dubious way of, getting money, which is very bad. So I think the government already is not, employing a lot of youths, and this gambling has made us, get something for ourselves and all that. So I think already we are paying tax. When you transfer mobile money from your account to your bet account, there's deduction. When you win, you transfer it from your bet account to your mobile money account. Even when you transfer it to your bank account, still there's deduction. So
the government is making an argument that they want to expand the tax margins in the country, and betting seems like a very big area now, which is where a lot of monies are coming from. You've admitted that you got a lot of money from there. Is that not the case?
I agree.
Francis, you also agree, because he has been doing this for 4 years. You as well, how long have you been?
Been betting is around 7 years.
You be like you be the Methuselah for betting inside.
That's right. Yesterday like this, I made a bet sent to one of my guys. He staked the bet 300 cedis and he won 1,600.
Oh, wow.
Right. So if he took his 300 out, he make a profit 1,003. So if government, you wanted to take a tax 10%, but through the company of the bet, you tax them 25%. Either they win or they lose, you tax them 25%. So how can you wanted to tax the youth we are struggling, because no job, we are just struggling. I just win a bet to set my business. I employ people. I pay taxes.
You and I had an informal conversation before we started this, and you said you got the money to start your business from betting. That must have been some big cash, because I don't see, is betting that lucrative?
Yeah, if I don't stick, if I'm sticking bet, sometimes I stick bet 1,000 Ghana or 500.
And that gives you a return of
sometimes
how much?
I lose. So if government wanted to tax me 10%, so if you want to try to tell me that if I place a bet, I didn't win, you want to try, I should keep trying. If I win, then you take that 10%. No, that's not making sense to me at all.
That's an interesting, very, very interesting analogy you create there. This is Jupiter. Jupiter, you as well. You look like the calmer person, but I want to suspect that you are also as involved in betting as much as possible. How well or not is this betting thing for you? Because it seems everybody else agrees. Do you also think that it's like the best thing for a young man like you now?
Yeah, I think there is no job opportunity and the youth are struggling. And moreover, we are creating a chance for ourselves. And I want to ask the government if if you lose the bet, is it going to replace our money which we involve in the betting for the youth? That's what I want to ask the government.
How much or how many times does a person lose a bet? No, maybe for you. Let's take a situation. Yeah.
For me, I try and then try over and over. If I don't win, I try, and it's not all that. It's not all that time that you win the bet. So I want to.
I get your point, Richard. You have also been betting for long. You are like the boss here. Yeah. What's the highest, if you can tell me, that you've ever staked bet?
My highest stake.
Sometimes. What's the highest money you put into a bet?
Sometimes 500, 1,000, 700, and from 1,000 below.
So you've not done anything above 1,000 cedis. I see. Now, this is quite an interesting thing. All of you, or a number of you, have said that this is because there are no jobs. What kinds of areas or what kind of jobs are you looking out for that the issues of betting is solving now, that maybe perhaps the state authority should be looking at?
They should create jobs for the youths.
What kind of jobs are we
that they can pay well. Not that you create job that you pay 500, 600. No, because somebody can use 100 Ghana stake, get about 50,000.
And that's from the comfort of their home.
Yes, and that 50,000, you can use that 50,000 to establish yourself. Like my brother is saying, he have won and use that money to establish this one and employ many people that he's paying tax here. So the betting is helping us a lot. So the government should rather pray for us to win and use the money wisely to do something so that they can tax the thing that we are using the money for.
Francis, you run the business. It's a barbering shop? Yes, a barbering shop. How many people do you employ?
How many seats over here?
So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, there's 5. I think there's
I
another.
have to use 6 bags because of 5. Okay. My other shop, I have 7 workers over there.
So plus this. So that's like 14?
Yes. So I used to pay that. I pay taxes too. So I want to ask the government that the bets of the company, right? You tax them, right? And I heard that they said we the youth, we are lazy. We don't want to work. So that's why we are sticking the bet. So I wanted to, if they want the youth to stop sticking the, then they should stop the bet company.
But is betting a lazy job?
It's not a lazy job. It's not easy. It's not.
Tell me how difficult or not.
It's not a lazy job. It's not easy to tell me that maybe Man City or Manchester. You said, oh, Man City will win. I'm not the one going to play the ball. It's just the confidence I have. I have confidence Manchester will win, and I just put my money on it. And Manchester won, and you say, oh, Manchester have won, so the money are free. So I have to, if maybe I stick a bet, maybe 1,000 cedis, maybe I'll do maybe 2 odds, 1,000 cedis, I win 2,000. If I win 2,000, if I take my 1,000 out, I made profit 1,000 cedis. So government want to tell me that my 1,000, you take 10% out of it.
But 10% is it so much?
It's too much. You want to take 10%.
It's not so much. It's actually too much.
Too much. So I wanted to ask, okay, if I didn't win, so government want to try to tell me that I should keep trying. So if I don't have money, I'll go and still use it to stick a bet. Or am I lying?
Which is not something any of us wants. Levite, you are in school. Doesn't betting take you away from your books?
No, not at all.
Not at all?
Not at all.
Because I feel the sense that you have to spend a lot of time on your phone and do all the permutations. It doesn't take you away from your books.
No. Right now, it's much easier to place a bet. Gone are the days you have to go to the betting centers to, place your bet. But now, in the comfort of your home, anywhere you are, you can place it. And now there are a lot of odds platforms. On Telegram, you can get on WhatsApp, Facebook, on Twitter.
So it's not just on the apps that...
No, you can get odds from places. People even sell them. If you trust them, you send your money, they give you the odds and you place it.
Oh, that's new to me.
Yeah, people sell the odds. So it's not really time consuming. And if you know what you're doing, you just do it and you're done.
Richard, I want to come back to you because you are the one who heads the group. How big of a market, let me call it that, is the betting market, how many people, just give me a number, actually, maybe Domi, how many people do you think actually engage in betting?
I can say it's a lot. There are many here.
When you say a lot, can you give me a figure?
Like,
Abednego, you seem to have a number?
More than 70%.
70%
yes.
of the
people living
indigents here in Domi?
Yes. And if you take Ghana, the whole country, we are about more than 80% of the population. Big men.
Interesting. Yeah. Ministers?
Yes. They have been calling us for us and all that. I know ministers who have been calling for us. Big people have been calling me for us. And I've been giving
Richard, I want us to get this. You've had a minister call you?
Yeah, of course.
A minister of state? And they want all
people. Yeah, big people. People have been, we know them. They have been calling us. I can't mention names, you know. They have been calling for us Friday, Saturday, Sunday. My phone, forget it. They have been calling for us. Can you give him 10 us? I have 5,000. I need 10 us. I need 5 us. I've been doing for them. So
you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I'm trying to make a point here. Let's say, let's take this month for example. If I try, let's say throughout the month, and I win once, it means I lost more than what I win. If I lose 1,000 cedis, I can win 500 cedis. If you take 10% out of it, am I making gains or losses? I'm losing.
So there's also the whole question about, just so that we get this into more perspective. Yes. The decision to bet is left to you. When the government wants to tax, like they do for everything. In fact, they're having conversations about things like even sanitary pads that are taxed. And I'm trying to just establish why bets should not be taxed at all. Because if you lose, is that not your decision to have gone into it and you lost?
Yes. So do they care about how I make money to bet? Are they interested in that? They are not interested in my losses. I try more than, let's say today, for example, I spent more than 50 cedis already. I don't know how much I'm going to make at the end of the day. So if, let's say, I spent 50 cedis and then I won, let's say 200 cedis, profit of 150 cedis, you take 10% out of it. Where am I going?
Jupiter, you were saying something. I'll come to you, Francis. Jupiter, you were saying something that they're having pastors.
Yeah, they're having pastors who are calling for odds and even into betting.
You know any pastor? Like
yeah, you know, but
a man who is clerical.
Yeah, clerical.
And they come to you for well, what would be the motivation for a pastor to leave his faith and his trust in God, who is able to do all things, to come and ask you for?
Yeah, because there are some pastors who said betting is not a sin. I even debated on that with a pastor. He said it's not a sin. Yes.
There's a story of Jesus actually sacking people from the temple because they were gambling. Is that not the same thing? And the pastor says it's not.
Oh, but I emphasize on the betting, and they said betting is not a sin. Yeah.
Very interesting. Francis,
I wanted to ask the government that I hope it tax the company of the bet. So if you wanted to tax us, then just go to the bet and tell them, okay, maybe that 20% I used to tax you people, I want to increase it. Because if the bet people, if they are not making profit, then they have to go. They are making profit, that's why they are more coming. They are making profit. So if government is the bet of making profit, you think the youth, now we the youth, or we are into betting, so you wanted to tax us. No, that one, I'm not.
Are you for an outright no tax, or you think that it is just too much?
No, me, I can. If I want to say, if we are sticking the bet, government, you don't have to tax us. Because at all, because
not even a percent.
Because if I wanted to deposit into my bet account, e-levy, you would deduct me. If I win bet, I took the money, deposit into my account, you take your percentage. So why the bet company, you know, increase their money you used to tax them? If you tax them, the bet people don't want to reduce their odds, we are okay.
Levite.
I believe not taxing bet earnings, I think we can't say he shouldn't tax.
So you agree that at least some tax should be on it?
At least.
So give me a figure.
From 1 to 3. because according to the Ghana Revenue Authority, you are supposed to pay as you earn. That's the pay as you earn, and that one it has to be paid monthly. But the government is telling me if one day I have 10 slips and I win, he's taking 10% from each slip. That's not right. When we are paying as we are winning, or we are paying as we are earning, that one, even that analogy, it fits in, but it shouldn't be daily. When he's taxing us, he should tax us monthly according to the pay as you earn. And even with the income tax, we pay on year assessment. The whole income you get in a year, we assess it and we deduct. But the government is not doing that. He's taxing us daily, every single day. When you have 50 slips and we win all, he's taking 10% from each slip. And I don't think it's right.
Okay. All right. So apart from Francis, I don't get a clear understanding of what exactly all of you use. But this question will go to everyone. I'll start with you, Richard. What do you use your income from betting for?
I was able to get taxi and Uber, and I have a boutique which I've been operating.
All in your name?
Yeah.
Abednego?
Yes, a plot of land in my name.
You bought a
from
land?
betting, yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And Pablo, how about you?
Me, I just started show for almost 2 years now.
Hey, that's just started?
Yes.
2 years is just started?
But it has really helped me because my income, I work and receive is not to write home about.
I see. And then Jupiter?
I just entered.
You two just entered? How long is it just entered? Now,
not quite ago.
Which is how long?
2 months ago.
Oh, 2 months. You were a baby. So at least. But have you won something?
Yeah.
You've won something in the last 2 months. And Francis, you are the one who has a business. Yeah. But apart from that, what other thing do you?
Through this bet, I had a land I built 2 bedrooms for my mom is staying inside right now because of betting.
That's interesting. Yes. So now you don't even need to work in a corporate world or anything.
No,
you can do betting all your life.
No, I'm still hustling.
You're still hustling. Levites, you are in school. Do you use the money to pay fees or something?
No, my fees they are for my.
It's sorted.
It's sorted. But I've been able to rent. I've moved out from the hostel.
Okay.
Yeah, so through betting, I've been able to rent my own place.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, very.
All right. So, well, we're still on the conversation. We are at Dome Pillar 2, and we're just discussing the whole new tax of 10% for winnings on lotteries or games of chances for all the betting people, anyone who bets at all. The government now wants to tax a 10% tax on whatever your earnings are. When we return, we'll go more into the conversation. All right, so we're still here with some young guys in Dome Pillar 2. We are discussing the issue of betting and the government's new 10% tax on all winnings from lotteries and games of chances. Now, Francis, we had an informal conversation before we returned. I just want to hear it. You say you introduced someone. Who is that person?
Oh, I introduced my girlfriend to bet.
So when you introduce her, tell me.
It's not that every day. Maybe sometimes if maybe I do a bet, maybe if I know that this bet is strong bet, I have confidence this bet, I'll just give it to him. Stick this amount. Okay. Or sometimes I'll send him money. This amount, stick it. Don't reduce it.
And so you mentioned that you have more than an app for betting. How many apps do you use?
I have Betway.
Okay.
I have SportyBet. I have M-Sport. And I have SuperBet.
That's 4. That's 4. And all of these bring you some returns.
Yes.
That's very interesting. Now, I am a very intrigued person. So I'm just wondering, apart from all the things you have told me, Levite, I want to start with you. Is betting addictive?
Very. Very, very addictive. If you don't take care, you think that you are saving and you have to collect your money back, and that is a very dangerous thing. You try every day and you don't win. The day that you try to, today I'm tired, I won't stick, but maybe you had certain games in your head. That day that games is going to play. You understand? So you don't have any choice than to stick again. Maybe the day that you say you not stick, that day the bet to play.
Purely a game of chances, right? But you're still in it. You're still in it. Pablo, you're shaking your head. Why are you still in it?
Because
beyond all the fact that it's very addictive.
Yeah, it's addictive, like addicted if you are not careful. But it depends your mindset. It's really risky, like it's a risky work to do. But because of our work, the work that we are doing, the income, we are not getting it. So there's nothing you need to do, because I can't go and steal.
And all of the guys are on their phones. I hope you are not betting whilst we are here. That would have been serious, because I'm already asking about addictions. So if you were doing that right, yeah, I'll be wondering. But beyond the addiction, Richard, is it true that people go for Bala to do? What I mean by Bala is they go for juju and all that to do betting.
Yes, I don't believe in those things, but sometimes I hear people saying that. For me like this, somebody have called me telling me I should come, he will do something for me and you win. By me, I don't believe in those things.
But does it work?
I'm not sure, because it's about thinking and research. You have to do research about the things and think and pray for favor. Not that you go for somebody to give you some agbala or something. It's about thinking and research.
I see. Yeah. Thinking, research. You people mentioned women, so now I am also wondering how many women actually bet. Do women bet? Yes. You apart from your girlfriend. Yes. They bet. I bet you know someone, that's your sister or someone you know bet.
No.
You don't know anyone who bets?
Any lady.
Okay. How about you, Jupiter?
No, I don't know.
You don't know any?
I don't know anyone.
Okay. Levite, you know why? Some of your colleagues.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, my classmates who ladies who we are in a group and I send them out. Yeah, and when they also get some from somewhere, they post it in a group and we all stick it. So a lot of ladies are into bet.
So this is not just a men's thing.
Not at all.
But why does it seem like it's only men who bet?
You see, the ladies, they don't really come out to admit it, but they do.
They do.
Yeah, they come to our DMs and ask for it. They do. They really bet.
Yeah. Interesting. Now let's look at the way forward. 10% tax is going to really happen as it is. What would happen when it starts? Richard, let's start.
We are just appealing to the government not to introduce that 10%, because it's something that's going to worry us. Because there's no money in the system. The system is very hot. We are trying to get something from here to go and try our luck, get something big and establish ourselves. So if you are taxing the company and you want to tax me as well, it's something which is very bad.
I asked this question earlier. Do you want an outright no implementation, or you want a reduction?
No implementation.
At all?
At all.
Not at all? Not at all. So how about you, Abenego? It will happen eventually.
Yes, but if it does, I think it's a lazy way of making money. Yeah, that's what I think.
You think the government is just trying to capitalize on people's smartness and earnings?
Betting company is paying tax. If they are paying tax, I don't know why their customers must be taxed when they earn money from betting. You understand? Because they are not interested in what I'm losing. If I lose 100 cedis today and I'm able to win, let's say 300 cedis tomorrow, and you take 10% out of it, I think that's a lazy way of making money.
Pablo?
Yeah, I think if the tax is being implemented, it will rather bring a lot of criminal activities on the street, because at times I get money out of some of it and I help some of my brothers around. So it limits.
This one will reduce your money eventually.
And it limits the number of people like trying to make money on the street, like attacking people, taking their phones and other things, because they can get help from me. So since they can't get help from me or another person, they'll go back to the street and taking people's phone.
Jupiter, you as well, what would you do? Because like I'm saying, it's really going to happen.
Oh, it's very hurtful if they implement their 10%, because the company is paying the tax of the 10%, and we The
I think the companies pay what, 25?
25. And we, the individual, is paying 10%. It's very hurtful. It's very hurtful. And is the government going to refund our money as we lose or not?
Interesting. Francis, you as well.
If the government know that maybe we make a lot of money in the bet, they need money. They should come inside and try and see. That's yes. They should come. The government need money. You should use the country's money to stick a bet and win and use it to. If you know that we are making money, you should come in and try.
All right. All of you speak very passionately about betting and all that. Are you spiritual people? Do you believe in the things of the afterlife? Do you believe in things like that? Now I'm going to ask you a question. If somebody told you that your lives depended on not betting, meaning that if you stopped betting, you would live long, who would go for that gamble? You are shaking your head.
It's not true.
It's not true.
Yes.
Hypothesis. Imagine that was the case.
I don't believe in that.
You don't believe
yes.
in
that? The only thing that can make you live long is knowing the truth. Yes.
And one of them is betting.
Oh yes. Yes.
You have money, you live long.
So far as I'm not stealing the money I used to bet, I make legit money to bet. So it's not affecting anybody. That's not a sin to me.
Levite, how about you? You are told that when you stop betting, you have a good life and everything.
I will stop.
You will stop?
Yeah, I will stop. I think I will.
Is that to say that you actually see yourself one day stop betting?
Obviously. I won't do it to the end of time. Obviously, some way, somehow, along the line, I'll stop.
You stop.
The earlier question you posed to the guys, whether they are for outright no implementation or no. As I mentioned earlier, according to the Ghana Revenue Authority, you have to pay as you earn. And we agree that the government can tax us, but the 10% is too much. And even the pay as you earn is supposed to be paid monthly. So if the government is taxing us, he should do it monthly. Calculate all the money we get through betting.
But would that not be the same? Because if I take the money now or I take it later, is that not the same?
Putting my monthly earning there and taking 10%, that is different from taking 10% out of my slip.
Everyone.
In a day, if I have like 10, I have 10 slips and I win all, they are going to take 10% from each slip. And I think it's too much. So maybe from 1%, this is the very first time you are hearing of this. So you shouldn't start from 10. Because if he sees that it's very lucrative, he's going to increase it. Maybe from 10 to 15.
Interesting. All right, I want to thank you all very much, Richard. But before we leave, just a final one. Do you see yourself actually stop betting one day?
Oh yes, for sure.
You want to stop one day?
It's when I make a lot of money from it and establish myself well.
How much is a lot of money?
Right now, if I get like maybe 400,000 or 400,000 from betting now, I'm sure I can use that money to do something which will generate income for me. So I'll stop. And maybe the new ones will come in again. All right.
I'm most grateful to all of you. Thank you, Levite. Thank you, Francis. Thank you, Jupiter, Pablo, Abednego, and then Richard. So that has been our conversation here. Betting, 10% tax. Whether it would actually happen or not, we are yet to tell. This has been Say It Loud on GhanaWeb TV. My name is Eche Atisu. Remember, you can go to www.ghanaweb.com for news. Until another time, stay safe.
Welcome to the Ghana ICT Hub, a partnership between MTN Ghana and the Government of Ghana through the Ministry of Communications and Digitization. MTN pledged to support Ghana's digitization agenda in line with its ambition to lead the delivery of digital solutions for Africa's progress. In fulfillment of this pledge, MTN Ghana has committed $25 million toward the realization of the Ghana ICT Hub project. The objectives of the Ghana ICT Hub project is anchored on the following: to create an ICT-enabled environment for human capital and ICT skills development, to develop an ICT ecosystem through remote access delivery to facilitate job creation for national development, to provide a modern, state-of-the-art physical infrastructure to serve as a pillar for the digital Ghana agenda. The physical infrastructure, when completed, will provide 4,000 square meters of space with the following facilities: laboratories for technology training and research, innovation hub, co-working spaces for tech innovation startups, Tier 3 data center, conferencing facilities, offices and meeting rooms, commercial lettable spaces, gaming area, restaurant, ancillary facilities. The technology laboratories will be fitted with the next generation ICT equipment and applications to provide the youth of Ghana with practical training in Industry 4.0 technologies such as artificial intelligence, AI, machine learning, cloud computing, 3D printing, robotics, Internet of Things, IoT, advanced manufacturing techniques, cybersecurity, genetic engineering. The project also seeks to establish a complete ecosystem at the hub through remote access delivery to facilitate job creation for national development. The ecosystem shall comprise of MDAs, technology companies, startups, incubators, research agencies, leading universities globally, foundations worldwide, to create a community. 1. The ecosystem community shall bridge the divide between academia and industry and provide solutions to challenges in the key sectors of health, agriculture, and educational sectors of the economy. 2. It shall also run an innovation program providing mentoring and networking for the youth in tech startups. 3. The ecosystem community shall establish an innovation fund to support startups, research agencies, and other entities in the ecosystem. MTN Ghana and the Ministry of Communications and Digitization are championing the Ghana digital agenda for Ghana's development. Welcome to the digital age.
Susu sang kwai bia wan to nam bia e man kwai bebre.
Mommy, you fish can see my kotoso. Pepoga, send me sika from Lemonade Finance. Wa Brian did the shit and let me £10.
Lemonade Finance.
Say they're sending money back home from UK, Canada, and now US. I accepted a instant charges. Extinguishing so unbeatable. We should make promo code Dr. Like £10, $10 and $10 Canadian for the first transaction. With this send this guy download to Lemonade Finance.
Anytime we are on stage with Slim Buster, we are like my brother will take the CD to the DJ to make that to do the selection for the performance. So he will put our song at the end of Slim Buster's performance, which Slim Buster is not aware. So after we finish backing him, he leave the stage for us to do the last dance. So after he leave the stage,
they play
then they will put our song.
You're welcome to another edition of Talkatainment here on GhanaWeb TV. I am Paula Amabroni. Today I have some very important dignitaries here. When it comes to the music industry, they've got all the experience, they've seen it all, and today we're going to go 360. Life, career, everything. So do stick and stay. It's Talkatainment on GhanaWeb TV. You're welcome back. It's Talkatainment on GhanaWeb TV with me, Paula Amabroni. Today, I've been joined by FBS, Ghanaian music group. They've been there since Olumambuge days, Kill Somebody, featuring Guru. You have one with Apietus, I forgot the title.
Buy one, get one.
You pay as you go, as heads upon heads, and even now you have a new one with Mr. Jujo, which is a big one, and I know you have an EP too. You made mention in our last interview. Great. But FBS Music, with those who have been following you then times, you used to be a 3-member group. Someone will say, where's your 3rd member?
You know how it is when you're growing, when the going gets tough. That's the English, right? You know, we leave Ghana to stay in the UK for some time, and we got married. People, like, things start changing. He got married to somebody who doesn't have a Ghanaian culture, so she's like, no, you don't have to come. So we have to be coming down. And you know, with music, your presence is really needed. You get it? So going to studio, you're not there. So for about 10 to 12 years now, that we've been doing solo stuff. So automatically, it becomes the two of us. But we are so cool. We talk every day. We are cool.
So absolutely no bad blood.
No.
Great.
No beef. Nothing.
As we're talking now, it's in London.
It's in London. Yeah, it's okay.
Great. So live having to go on a break for some time. Did you regret, or it was just a decision you had to take a break to focus on family?
FBS never had a break. You see, one thing about music is we don't, as a musician, you need to know your target audience. At a particular time, you might sing a song that might be hitting here, and maybe for some period of time, then it's changed to another country. If you're an artist that you are really, really observant, like you move, you know how to, because that is your job. You understand? When we leave, when we stop doing music for Ghana, we're doing music for our local people, for our language, because we've been traveling from all the local areas, from the northern part of Togo to all those places, to Ivory Coast, to Liberia, and all those places, still doing music. But it's just like we've not released a major song for Ghana. You understand? But we've been doing songs. We've had a lot of songs going on, and it's been amazing for all those time. You understand? So FBS have not gone to break, but it's like just diverted the attention to another crowd.
So according to Najo, you did not take a long break. It was just that you're not doing music for Ghanaian audience.
Yes.
Great. Yes. So the music, away from music, you spend some of your time abroad. Coming back to Ghana, everybody says, oh, the system and all that. How did you settle in?
You see, when we came back to Ghana, we realized one thing. We realized things have changed, but certain things we started way back is still there. It's like we see ahead of time. When we say see ahead of time, like this TikTok dance that is raining now, in our years, we started those things. We bring music with dance, and then we make sure every music that we do, it has its own movement. So we get it so easy on that side, because already it's like we know the system or the global
that
world.
Has been our trend.
Yes.
Exactly.
So we didn't get it so difficult too much on our side. Do you understand me? Like with a Mr. Drew like this, when we release, it just go viral like that, because already it's something that we're already doing. You understand me? So, and we are even happy. Likes of Mr. Drew Dems and those guys are following the trend and stuff. So we jumping in. I didn't see it so.
It's anything new. Okay, great. So now I know you brothers. One would say, how did you come together? Did you come together because of the dance, or you came together originally to do music?
We started from dancing. If you know so much, if you know the history of FBS, we've been from National Dance Factory, National Dance Ensembles, from backing of musicians to back Slim Buster. We back a couple of musicians, and from there, then we jump into music. So we started from dancing, from Embassy Pleasure Double Do to name it.
We've been everywhere.
You know the Embassy Pleasure Double Do,
Do you know
right?
what is called Embassy Pleasure?
Then I was younger, so maybe.
Oh, she
not.
don't have
Maybe are the new cheese.
It's a national dance competition for Ghana.
Yeah, for Ghana.
Oh, okay.
That time, sorry to say that there's a embassy called
there's a cigar company that sponsored
called Embassy.
Oh, great.
So
they were the sponsors for the program.
Sponsors for the dance and this thing.
Yes.
So we've been a dance champions for ages, and we do a lot of adverts like Tampico adverts, Fangigo adverts.
I think I remember an ad be like
yes,
that.
those years.
Great.
Tampico. Sorry to do adverts for them.
No, but
we were part of the video.
Great,
Some
great.
of the part of the TC, you see us in the mask and stuff.
All right. So you've made a name for yourself in music and in dance.
We started in dance. We started breaking barriers in dance. We travel a lot before we just switch in. We have the music in our blood already, so
it was not a big deal.
To switch is so easy.
So when you speak to artists who've been there, as we love to call them, the OGs, they talk about back in their days it was difficult. Music was not just how it has become so modernized in our time. You know, you have to book a studio, wait hours, days before it gets to your turn, recording. When you are done with the whole thing, you have to even market and get the music to the audience. Can you walk us through how was it like starting on the onset of your career?
Okay, our career has been tremendous. It has been superb because, you know, there is two things about life. You see, when the business you are doing becomes your hobby, even if it's difficult, you don't see the difficult part of it. Because FBS, we love dancing already. We used to dance for free, for fun. Because I feel like if I don't dance for a day, it's like I've lost something. And then so when we started doing music, and we feel like it's not even difficult because the dance we put in when we were dancers and the dance we put in when we were singing it was limited. And when it comes to studio section, I did not see any stress going to the studio because we were privileged. Our first song was recorded in the studio of Slim Basta.
Okay.
You understand? Slim Basta was out with his friends, and then his engineer was there. It's called Uncle Otu, what's his name? Uncle Otu was something. He was an old man who was Slim Basta's engineer. So we were like, Uncle Otu, do you know that we can sing? He said, oh, we say, we've even written some songs. And then an old man now. So Slim Basta was not aware, so we started doing something. So he was like, okay, he played this beat. We have to sing what we want with our mouth, and he was like, okay, this is a good thing, so let me play. So he played the beat. After that, we sang the first Old Man Boogie. It wasn't the one you are hearing now. There's the one that we did the demo part of it. You understand? It was nice. So when he did it, we did the voicing and everything. He was not being able to mix it because Slim Basta came, so we have to stop it. After 3 days, we asked him, Charlie, just give us a copy like that. It was like, the woman train I'm in your time, I'm mix it, and you know, give it to us. So what we did is when he gave us that song, anytime we are on stage with Slim Basta, like my brother will take the CD to the DJ to make that, like to do the selection for the performance. So he will put our song at the end of Slim Basta's performance, which Slim Basta is not aware. So after we finish backing him, he leave the stage for us to do the last dance. So after he leave the stage,
they play
then they will put our song. He being in his dressing room listening to it, he didn't know it's our song. And they will dance with it, and the crowd love it. So we were unlucky, we were at Takoradi or somewhere. He didn't go to his dressing room, he was like around his car, and then they put the song, and then the crowd was like, boom. So when we were coming out of the stage, the crowd followed us to him. And you know what they told him? They were like, yo, Slim Basta, you better power chop and janyum no. Not concentrating on Kwalawe because a nyum na almost at the end, no. A very your future obeneska.
Wow.
Some man just prophesied to him straight. And not knowing that thing he didn't feel okay because imagine we are his pillar at that time. We are the one that making him Slim Bastard, and so you're telling him to retire and concentrate on us. That was like a big blow. So he was like, ah. So
when did you guys do this?
He didn't ask us that day. He didn't even talk to us.
Oh.
We were like, we are dead. We see him like our father. You see, we as Slim Bastard, we clicked so much. He was watching us. He didn't give us food. We were like, hey, it's bad. So we just still have to, you know, mingle with it. So for some time, we realized that the communication is that the relationship is no longer that strong. So we have to leave and then start doing our own, because he wasn't concentrating any longer, because he realized we betrayed him.
But would you call that a betrayal? You took an opportunity as you were narrating the story.
You see, as an artist, if like right now, I'm in Slim Bastard's shoes, and I have a dancers like us, and then we are going for the goal, like, you understand? And all of a sudden we are backing up. Charlie, it's a big blow for him.
I get it.
Because me and my brother, we are very loyal when we are with you. When we're with Slim Bastard, we will not back in any other musician. Unlike the rest that come to join, they can go and do their own thing. But if you see us, you see Slim Bastard. So he's proud. The whole thing becomes like a brand, the three of us. You get it? And then my brother does the TikTok thing, because Slim Bastard has featured TikTok on couple of his songs. So if TikTok is not there, my brother will do the rapid servicely, that kind of thing. So the vibe was there. You get it? So he was so comfortable with it, and all of a sudden we feel like we can do more than dancing, and so that's what's really bring the breakup between we and Slim Bastard. And after that, it was so good. And then Bulare started giving us programs. They were calling us Talibans. You know, when we go to show, we used to tie our hair with some white scarves. So from one place to another, and things start getting better. And Bulare was like, yo guys, this your Olman Boogie is really getting famous now, and people are loving it, but it's demo. So why don't you go see JQ? That time JQ2 is getting the vibe. So it's like, why don't you go see JQ? We said, like, Charlie, we don't even have the money.
Charlie.
They said, go tell JQ that I'll pay. Record, I'll pay. When we got to JQ2, we don't know how to record. Like, it's a long story, see that. If I have to tell you all that.
We'll save it.
But it was good. JQ recorded us, and
it became the hit. Great.
It.
So in December last year, the big shows, you rocked there. I met you at Beam Concert. We had a very good interview. The dance was on point. I'm like, hey, this is where did they get the energy from? And you don't miss a beat. Like the formation, you turn. It was such a pleasure to watch you. In 2022, you released one of the hit songs, Joe, which featured Mr. Drew. One would say, why feature Mr. Drew? Do you see yourself in him? Because he also sings and dances. Like, how did you settle on that, and how did the collaboration come?
You see, Mr. Drew has been good. Like, Mr. Drew is good. Like, you understand, Ghanaians know. But we did not, like, discover him earlier. Like, this thing could have happened long ago, but we did not discover Mr. Drew earlier, because we are not familiar with the industry any longer, because we've been traveling in and out and stuff. But the first time I saw him, my brother wasn't there. I was the one that saw him at a lunch. He was performing. I was like, yo,
this guy.
Like, yo, Ghana. So Ghana have started this. Then that means Ghanaians still love that, because I love everything about him. So I was like, yo, I called my brother there, and I was like, yo, I've met that guy. So which I said, this guy is good. We need to work with this guy. We are about to retire, but with this guy, we have to do something. So I asked him, I said, yo, find his number, because he is fan of that. When I say find his number, he's
going to find. Okay.
I say find his number, call him, let him know we want to do something. So about a week, he found his number, he called him, he was like, yo, is it Mr. Drew? He said, yes, this is FBS. He said, who? FBS. Are you sure? He asked, he said, are you sure?
I could know how they feel, because he also does looking at you.
He's not even believing. Yeah, what?
Are you sure?
Then I hear him telling somebody, FBS is talking to me. Then I think somebody said, oh, he's lying.
He's lying.
Then I say, it's FBS. It's like, if it's FBS, let's meet her.
They say then come.
Then come, let me see you. I want to see you.
Then we say, okay, send us your location.
He sent location, we see him.
Then. So then he agreed to the collaboration.
And when we went to his place, not knowing, he also have an agenda for FBS. that he wished he could have met FBS. Yeah. Because I think he had a conversation with VGMA, because they said the last year's show, he murdered it. And people are like, okay, you've done whatever you want to do. People have seen it. So this year you're on it. What else will you do? So if they say, but if you want to do something, then you have to do something bigger than what FBS have done.
18 years ago.
So this is what FBS did 18 years ago.
No, let her know. We're holding the record on VGMA.
Like,
18 years ago, nobody have win
that show. Like we came with like the chair and the umbrella at the same time. We performing.
Are you getting it?
8 years ago, I was younger, so
so on VGMA record, nobody have performed open act like what we did before. For 18 years, the crown is on us. We are holding the title.
So they were like, okay, watch this and then do like that,
or
team up with them and do the same thing. And I was like, that would be a good thing if I team up with them. That would be a very good thing. So we came and said, like, yo, you want to work with me, fine, but let's put the work aside
and focus on the VGMA.
So what is it? I'm going to VGMA and I want to go with you.
Wow.
I said, really? Go? Just on what basis? Because before we were thinking, maybe we're going to dance with him on his song. He said, no, I'm doing your music on VGM. It was like, yo, really? He said, but it's going to be a surprise, just we and you. I didn't let VGM know I've gotten you. So I just took the idea, but I didn't give them the assurance I'm doing it.
Wow.
You understand? So we surprised them.
And that was it.
That was it. So and then we told him, we said, like, listen, this is going to be big. Because honestly, Ghana didn't really have enough of us. So it's going to be, say, yes, he knows it's going to be big. It's okay, let's do it.
Right. I'm really interested in that story. But then we'll take a quick break. When we come back, the conversation with FBS continues. Welcome back. You're still watching Talkatainment on GhanaWeb TV. I've been doing this with FBS, the music group. They dance, they sing, they do everything. You should see their performances if you have the opportunity to ever see them on stage. It's fireworks. They don't. I don't want to talk much, but let's continue the conversation. Before we went on that break, we were talking about your collaboration with Mr. Drew. Yeah. Currently in the music space, which other young artists would you love to work with?
That's a big question. Honestly, we would love to work with everybody. You see, there is something about FBS that up to now, for me, I'm not really comfortable. You see, because of the dance, it has covered our talent for music. Because people don't really pay attention and know what FBS can do musically. You get what I'm saying? All they concentrate is on the dance. You understand? But they've forgotten that the dance comes with the music. You get it? But I think it's our time for Ghanaians to know that, okay, FBS can really sing. So when it comes to featuring somebody right now, you see, some of the artists feel like, oh, FBS, yeah, if it's not dancing music, I cannot feature. You understand?
Yes.
So people are feeling they can't work with us because they can't dance.
It has to be a danceable song.
No, but when you listen to our EP, it's only one danceable song in it. And trust me, we're good. We're very, very good. Me listening to the industry we are in now in Ghana, FBS is really, really good when it comes to music.
They don't know. They don't know.
Yes, because
right. They are not.
So you write all your songs.
Yeah, they don't know we are very good writers.
Great.
They don't know that.
We have never gone to the studio and recorded song, and let's say a song, and then go. We are just there. You play the beat and we finish it.
That's it.
That's how Joe was recorded. Instantly, the beat, the song, everything instantly. Like that's it. We don't go home and come back and say, "Oh, give me the beat. Let me go listen." No.
Is the raw talent and how the crowd receives you. As I stated earlier, if you have the opportunity to see you perform, everybody jamming to it, from your songs even to the new ones that you have right now. I listened to an interview, a 2022 interview we had with Larry, and you made mention that back in the day, P Square came, asking that they wanted to be like you. Can you throw more light on that story?
That controversial interview.
Yeah, the controversial interview with live.
I made that.
Yeah,
it started on one of TV station like that, and then Larry too took it, and they're talking, and some of our fans or some of the Nigerians are not taking it lightly. So I choose not to be answering that question because some people who are not there, they will not believe you. They will not believe, and you hear them coming hard on you, thinking you are undermining or you are rating. So we choose not to answer because there's a more to it than what I say. There's more, and
but you don't want to give us some gist.
When in our biography, in our record, we have performed with a big art. Casey and Jojo, we performed with Casey and Jojo in London. We performed in Wembley before. Those times there's no social media. We were there. We have done a lot. We are ambassador for peace. This Liberia. This we work with UN. These things. So if I talk about Peace Square used to or the ask. And people are going gaga crazy, so I choose not to answer because. And I learned one guy said they talk to Peace Square, they say they don't remember, they remember VIP.
Yeah,
and then it's okay, yeah, because
maybe in his narrative might.
No, but it was true. It was true though, because at the time Alumambuge was hitting. VIP was representing FBS in Nigeria.
Oh, okay. So, you know how social media they can test things and all
and
that.
as I'm saying, in record, as we are talking about success, in record, we don't have bad blood with anybody. We have our journey, 22 years in this journey, very nice, sweet. We don't want to do this social media thing like, who are you guys to say Peace Square, blah, blah, blah.
Right. Now talk about bees. Some people say that it's good for the industry. Currently, some people can stage, let's plan it. Let's just say we are fighting because maybe you have a project and all that. Do you think that beef is good for the industry?
For some people who are ready to eat beef. for us, for us, listen, our legacy, we want to end it well. You understand me? We want to end it well with good notice. We will not just take your beef somewhere else.
Now you look very young.
Yeah.
Earlier when we started this conversation, we were talking about the fact that when I was younger, I used to listen to you. But you're going to tell me that, you're still young.
We were all younger at that time.
Najo, please. Olumambuge came not now.
Yeah.
You made mention that VGMA 18 years or 19 years ago.
Yeah.
What is your secret to looking good, young and all that? Apart from you defending that you are still young, which you are though, but then what do you do to look young and radiant?
You see, I realized one thing about life. The more you stress, the more you grow old.
Yeah.
Okay.
The more you consume yourself with unnecessary things. What is unnecessary? You feel like, I'm not hitting, my song is not on time. You have to be on top of this. We can be in Ghana, VGMA, you won't see us there. You will not
see us anywhere.
We can go clubbing, and we see the artists, they're doing their celebrity lifestyle. We'll just be here. You won't even know FBSs. They're like, we had that free mind. You understand? We have that free mentality because I feel like if I have done it before, I owned it before, and you are having it today. It's just the time difference, but it does not really matter. I have it today, and you will have it tomorrow, and that's it. You understand? And we feel those are the secret of life. Like, just love yourself.
Yes.
Love the time you are in it. The little you have, manage it.
Don't let that life, celebrity life,
I will tell you, we are very successful financially, but we have never posted anything that we owe.
Sorry to say, if I want to talk to a girl, I don't even want her to know I'm
FBS.
That's your secret.
Then
let's pretend I don't know you are FBS.
I don't fancy that thing.
Having to use.
If I come to club FBS in down.
You'll have to keep it on the low.
Could you believe till the Joe song came, one of my tenants didn't know I'm FBS.
Me up to now, my area.
One of my tenants, I think about a week ago, he was like, boss. I said, like, what is it? He said, please, my sister says she wants to come and snap a picture with you. I said, you are in this house for over 3 years now. Now you want to snap it? Because I didn't know you are there. I was like,
okay.
So you see the way the whole thing is. That is life.
We don't. That's what I'm saying. Like this beefing, this social
unnecessary stress,
drugs.
You see all these things lead you to drugs.
Exactly.
Because when your brain is too hot, you need something to cool it off.
Yeah, you want to do more
so you are stressed, you take in drug, it cools you. You get stressed again, you take it. And before you see, you're a drug addict.
Yeah, addicted to it.
And then, bro, you see yourself.
We've heard how drugs have destroyed a lot of celebrities and all that. Stay away from
drugs. Some is positive for them, but the time it becomes negative is when stress gets involved.
You have to be always on it.
Drugs are very, very
addictive.
very addictive. When they only want to get you at your weak time. At your happy time, you might think drugs is everything, but when you are weak, or when your career starts going down financially or mentally or marital, like if you have an issue, then the drug will get you. You understand? And it will destroy you.
Thank you for that advice. I know the young folks who are going to chance on this interview would really appreciate it. Now, here in Ghana, we've had some people, I would call them legendary entertainers, say, oh, here in Ghana, they don't really appreciate their legends until maybe, excuse me to say, when you are late, that's, oh, let's celebrate you. What would you say about that? Do you think that there's more that can be done, or Ghanaians, the thing that we say that we don't celebrate our own is false?
It goes in the two ways. Always I say this, when you don't make room for something, then there's no room for it.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm saying? We have not created an industry for the old songs, for the past songs. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because even the new songs, the industry we create for the new songs is even limited. Trust me, we have named them the legends. Have you ever had a program that every year we do that, we line up old artists to come and perform? So if there's no performance going on, how do their legacy becomes relevant? You see, you have a lot of things in your head. Presenters have, you are doing your show for people to watch you, right? You want a current vibe. You want something that will sell you. So if you don't mention any old artist's name on your program, it's not your fault. But if an old artist went to perform at a particular event and he made a mark, you would talk about it. Do you get what I'm saying?
So we should get a platform where we line up and then... There should be an industry
for the old arts. There should be something that is going on.
Some awards have to go in, not that
something has to go on.
Somebody would take the idea and he will stop it somewhere.
No, it has to be continuation.
Some will take an idea and it will be selfish, not to call in somebody. No, we have to be a national something. Like, listen, yearly, this award, this is it. It goes on, and we can remember you for doing this for Ghana. Ghana say thank you for this. When you do this, you know, but they are waiting for you after maybe they have hit 10 years. Stoneboy have hit 10 years, then the young chap will come, then you compare him to Stoneboy. That's what Ghanaians are doing.
Yes.
So if you are doing that, so the legacy is gone. You understand me? I watched one person is saying, oh, right now the Black Sheriff is more than all the... Then they are making big arts, like Stoneboy, like Shatta Wale.
And even I saw Blacko come out to say he doesn't like that comparison, because sometimes the people that are doing comparison, they are not into that, but then social media folks, for whatever reason. But then before we wrap up, I know you have new things, the EP and all that. Yeah. Okay. Let's just talk about currently what you are up to in 2023, the plans.
Yeah, we have put on our EP. I will not say yes. Let's say release in some way. It's on social or the digital platform. It's five tracks in there, and we want Ghanaians to just pay attention to that EP a lot. And people who are looking for content, who want to write, who want to bash, who want to say anything about FBS, should go through the EP. The EP talks about now, talk about who FBS are. FBS music, we are blessed with a lot of talent, which the dance is taking over it because we are very vibrant. Yeah. So when you have this opportunity, you don't talk about how do you write? How do you compose? You're good. Because of the dance, you don't talk about it. So we want all Ghanaians, all the listeners or the people who are watching us now to just go on digital platform and type FBS Takeover. That's the title of this thing. EP. And the rest, you can write it. Any thing you want to write about it. If you want to insult us, if you are not good, you just tell us. So 2023, we give you a challenge.
Great. Yeah. Najendi, it was a pleasure having you talk about music and relive all the good times. Any final words before we wrap up?
Okay, I would say keep it calm. Love yourself more. Say less. You know, talking too much make you irrelevant because you end up saying nonsense. And then focus. Whatever it is you want to do, just stay by it. Focus towards it. Pray over it, and you succeed. And to our fans, go to Muna.
Great. D.
I'll just. My last word is to the youth, every youth is a hero. Every youth, wherever you find yourself, just say to yourself, you are a hero. If I tell you how we started, you will not say, listen, me, in go school that. My school is just some class 1, class 2. I don't remember how many classes I sit in my life. Yeah. But trust me, I'm doing a lot in my life. So I'm just trying to send this message to the Zongo youth or all the youth in Ghana that, listen, keep it tight. I know it's not easy, you know. You might be on high something, but still now tell yourself you can make it. Do you understand me? You can make it, you can see through. And look within you, inside you, you will find your talent, you find what you can do the best.
Thank you very much, FBF Music. So bad that I couldn't, get to dance with because and all that. But I wish maybe we could play. You could play. Yeah. Can I play any of your songs? Which song do you love? We just wrap up with it. Joe.
Joe Hala.
Hala.
Joe Hala. We take over.
Hala.
Hala is on a boom play. Go boom play.
Hala and take all of.
Okay, then let's do Joe because let me just do Joe. Okay. Can we get some of the dance moves?
Baby, make I please. Baby, I want my knees. Oh, I can feel your pain. Let me take it away. On top your cake. And make I look your face. If it's you that I want, baby, move to the dance floor. Baby, just, move your body, get just, move your body, up for love. Come on. Baby, just,
move your body, get just, up for love. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, FBS.
Thank you.
It's not easy because NIT's payments are really not enough. So you put aside some money, you invest some money in bonds and T-bills so you can supplement this NIT's income with that. But right now, the investment is like zero. We are getting nothing at all. So it's not easy. Inflation and the difficulties that we are having. So we are being affected badly. And that is why we are back here.
And how long can you continue on this trajectory? What are your expectations from government?
I expect government to pay coupons and principals as they fall due. That's what I expect. I mean, we will do this for as long as it takes.
Very, very bitter, because if I wanted somebody to betray me, not the government, not the state, the one that I swore allegiance, even at the peril of my life. And if I didn't die in Cambodia, I didn't die in Liberia, I didn't die in Sierra Leone, I didn't die anywhere I was sent out. Come back home. Now I used not to, but I take a lot of drugs. A lot of drugs.
Because you have to keep up with that lifestyle.
Yes, it's not a lifestyle. The body, when you are young, you don't feel it. I used to wear beard. When you are young, you feel very strong, and that is how I felt. And for that, I used that energy in the service of the state, in the service of the government. So at this time, when I'm virtually in the last part of my life here on earth, I don't expect to be treated this way. At least if I have to die, I want to die happy. You see, not to in the struggle for something that I have given to the person I trusted most. You see, that is my worry. And so that is what I say. If you are saying I feel betrayed, I say betrayal is a very mild, I don't know if you have another word, you see, but I really feel betrayed.
So you were here some few months, you are back here again. How long can you go on with this? And what's the expectation from government?
I expect that if the Commander-in-Chief sees that we are here struggling to get our own monies back, he will chip in a word so that we are giving our monies. We should not be treated this way. After all the sacrifices that we did for the country when we were young, when we had the ability to jump, run, and obey orders. Now go and rest. The little money too that I have, you say no, you will not give it. So how do I buy my medications and so on? How do I care for those who are looking up to me until I'm called home? You see, and I think that the government should think about it again and give us our money.
The minister exempted us. By exempting us, it meant that he told us that, look, I have this problem. This is how I'm going to solve it. But with you, you're okay. Stay out. I will take care of you. Whatever contract I had with you from the beginning, will go by that contract. That contract said that on the 1st of March or February or whatever, I'll pay you your coupon. Pay the coupon. On such and such a date, your bond will mature. I'll give it to you, you know. And before we take our coupons, what you need to spend, you spend. If you want to roll it over, you reinvest it. You collect your principal. If you don't need it immediately, you reinvest it. All of this stays in the banking system. Right now, when you get your money, you're pulling it out. So even that will hurt, you know, eventually it will hurt the banking system because we don't even want to leave it there. You know. So yes, that is where we are. Pay us our money and let us just take care of our needs.
Welcome to the Ghana ICT Hub, a partnership between MTN Ghana and the Government of Ghana through the Ministry of Communications and Digitization. MTN pledged to support Ghana's digitization agenda in line with its ambition to lead the delivery of digital solutions for Africa's progress. In fulfillment of this pledge, MTN Ghana has committed $25 million toward the realization of the Ghana ICT Hub project. The objectives of the Ghana ICT Hub project is anchored on the following: to create an ICT-enabled environment for human capital and ICT skills development, to develop an ICT ecosystem through remote access delivery to facilitate job creation for national development, to provide a modern, state-of-the-art physical infrastructure to serve as a pillar for the digital Ghana agenda. The physical infrastructure, when completed, will provide 4,000 square meters of space with the following facilities: laboratories for technology training and research, innovation hub, co-working spaces for tech innovation startups, Tier 3 data center, conferencing facilities, offices and meeting rooms, commercial lettable spaces, gaming area, restaurant, ancillary facilities. The technology laboratories will be fitted with the next generation ICT equipment and applications to provide the youth of Ghana with practical training in Industry 4.0 technologies such as artificial intelligence, AI, machine learning, cloud computing, 3D printing, robotics, Internet of Things, IoT, advanced manufacturing techniques, cybersecurity, genetic engineering. The project also seeks to establish a complete ecosystem at the hub through remote access delivery to facilitate job creation for national development. The ecosystem shall comprise of MDAs, technology companies, startups, incubators, research agencies, leading universities globally, foundations worldwide, to create a community. 1. The ecosystem community shall bridge the divide between academia and industry and provide solutions to challenges in the key sectors of health, agriculture, and educational sectors of the economy. 2. It shall also run an innovation program providing mentoring and networking for the youth in tech startups. 3. The ecosystem community shall establish an innovation fund to support startups, research agencies, and other entities in the ecosystem. MTN Ghana and the Ministry of Communications and Digitization are championing the Ghana Digital Agenda for Ghana's development. Welcome to the digital age.
Now,
Susu sang kwai bia wan to na bia man in kwai bebre.
Mommy, you fish can see about Kotoso. Pepoga, send me sika from Lemonade Finance. While Brian did the shit and let me £10.
Lemonade Finance.
Say they're sending money back home from UK, Canada, and now US. I accepted a instant charges. Extinguishing in so unbeatable. We should be promo code Dr. Like in £10, $10, and $10 Canadian for the first transaction. Would you send this guy a coffee? Download to Lemonade Finance.
So we're back again on this week's episode of the GhanaWeb Sports Debate. Today, I'm sitting in for your regular host, Emmanuel Lenin. Yesterday was the FIFA Men's...
Now, we have sold Ghana Airways. It's now a choba. It's not a restaurant, a choba. Are we sitting down to see Sagleme also die, like all those properties of the nation?
In the last edition of the Lowdown here on GhanaWeb TV, we had an interesting conversation with the Rent Control Department of Ghana and the Tenants Union of Ghana regarding the acute housing deficit in the country. Today, we continue on the same trajectory, except I speak to a group of young men and a group that says it is called Team Sagleme, not for sale. The team says it is opposed to the government's decision to privatize and sell off the Sagleme housing project, which was started in 2012 by the government. The government says that due to inadequate funding, it wants to privatize the housing project. Is it such a bad idea? And why is the group opposed to the decision? My name is Daniel Ojo. This is the Lowdown on GhanaWeb TV. Today, my guest is Nana Otu Dako, who is a member of the Team Sagleme, not for sale. Good day, sir, and welcome to the Lowdown.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're wearing your beret.
Exactly.
Usually, that's what the comrades wear.
Yes.
Are you a comrade?
Like you are.
But tell us, what's your position regarding Team Sagleme, not for sale? What's your official role in the group?
Thank you so much for having me. Except to add that GhanaWeb is a delight to work with. You know, you have been engaging our minds a lot of times, and I personally have had several encounters, you know, picking information from GhanaWeb. So thank you so much for
the kind words
you're doing for this country. But let me build this foundation with the greatest of respect, and with your permission, I want to go into what the 1992 Constitution says, and specifically, I want to touch on Chapter 6. Which talks about the directive principles of state policy. Maybe Article 36(1), and at the tail end I'll be doing 41H. 36(1) says, the state shall take care, take all necessary action to ensure that the national economy is managed in such a manner as to maximize the rate of economic development and to secure the maximum welfare, freedom, and happiness of everybody. So it means that we have a stake in making sure that at least we put whatever the state does into proper perspective, but it shouldn't be injurious to the social political health of the nation. Let's do 41H that says we have a stake to defend Ghana and render national service when necessary. There's even a part that says that whatever any government has done, successive government will have to build upon it. And that brings me to the question you ask, that what is our position? We are making sure that the spirit and the letters of this Constitution is lived to the latter. In that, as individuals, as leaders of now, whatever successive government have done, we build upon it. Government stake is to make sure that affordable houses are built, so that the good people of this country will have, you know, a fair place to place their head. Has government done enough? In 2006, historically, analysis shows that former President J.A. Kufuor began with some 687 affordable housing units. As it were, the next government that came, which was Atamo's government, failed, that it let it to rot. I personally visited Aija Zongo, saw some of the buildings that were erected by the former president. Unfortunately, because it was not part of their agenda, you know, they also began some 200,000 affordable housing units, you know, belonging to some STL deal. Until John Dramani Mahama also ascended the reins of leadership. And because we lack a long-term policy national plan, he also contracted, you know, with approval of Parliament, some $200 million loan from Suze Credit. And they gave the contract to a company called Constitura OS to begin with some 200,000 affordable, I beg your pardon, some 5,000 affordable housing units, about $200 million. And initially, they wanted to start with 10,000, but reduced to, you know, 5,000. But record shows that by the time they left office, they were able to build 1,506. We thought that government would have finished this project and handed it over to the people, especially why the reasons why that very land was given was to help erect affordable housing and to help especially the security forces, in this case the military, you know, to have comfortability, as in where, you know, they'll place their head and all those ones. So if government should tell me that they do not have money to continue the project, that they are cash strapped, and as a result of financial bankruptcy, they will want to sell the project off to a private individual. Ask yourself, brother, when did affordability becomes a friendly word to a private-oriented businessman? Of course, they are into business to make profit. And even if we do a quick extrapolations, you know that the $200 million, assuming that they were even building the earlier proposed 10,000 housing unit, that would mean that they will sell every flat about $20,000, which is about 2.4 billion cedis, if like 240,000 new Ghana cedi. And that if they were able to finish 1,506, the new extrapolations will be that every flat will be sold for at least $40,000. So in the first place, it's not even that affordable. So that is even government selling. So if it is given to a private entity, mathematically, how is it going to be affordable? So if government should say that they want private, you know, entities to come in and take over, we think that, with all due respect, they have not been fair to the good people of this country and the Saglemi Township and the Nime and Name in Saglemi for giving them that very land for projection of affordability. So in the first place, they are defeating the very objective and purpose for which that land was secured, which is building affordable housing units. So we are not agreeing, and that has been our position, because we think that government should rather go for loans, if they need be, to finish the Sagleme and hand it over to the people.
But Nana, you do admit that the country is going through a lot of economic challenges. It has taken 11 years since the project was started in 2012, and there's no signs to show that this government or the government before it would complete it. Wouldn't it be prudent to see the vision of this private developer before you begin to oppose the idea? Because you are thinking that because it's a private developer, obviously it's going to be sold at a high price, and the ordinary and average Ghanaian will not be able to afford it. But that's a guesswork that you are making without really sitting with the private developer to see whether indeed this is going to be affordable and be, if you like, a continuation of the policy by the government to make it affordable for the ordinary Ghanaian.
Fantastic question. But to start with, let me say that we have so many people who have been sentenced into several prisons. And most often than not, it's not as if that they are guilty, but because they couldn't handle their case well, even though they are innocent, based on the prima facie argument that were advanced in court. Today they are fined behind bars.
Okay.
Now, what argument am I putting? Government may even have a case, but sometimes the approach, if government was telling us that based on the fact that we are reaching financial bankruptcy and that we will not be able to finish, because then the last time we visited the minister, he told us that to finish this new project and give it over to Ghanaians, that would mean we need about some $149 million. So if government, in
addition to the 200 million that has already been sunk into it.
Yes, so that's why they want to begin a new one at Amasaman. And that brings me as a solution to the question that you're asking. So government could have pegged it, that this is what we want to do based on that germane reasons we are given. But not when you want to sell off this affordable housing unit and begin new one to your credit.
Okay, so you think it's a political game?
Beyond it being a political game, we look at the substance of the matter, the available evidence in hand. And the available evidence in hand is that if you should visit Amasaman right now, they've started some minimal work at the Amasaman. At a time when the minister says that they've not even engaged the so-called private developer who is going to take charge of the place. They've started some work. They tell us that they have not approved the funds that are supposed to be injected in the new work. So who approved the new funds that have, energized them to start that minimal work? So the point I am making is that government cannot tell me that they are selling off Sagleme because they are cash trapped, and at the same time
building a new project.
Build a new project with some new resources. If government have any money, they should use that money
to
complete some few they can, so that when that is completed, they will sell it and make sure that the others are completed.
But you do know that the Sagleme issue is also a contentious issue in court, because the former minister Atachi had said that some mismanagement and misappropriation of funds happened under the NDC administration, and they were trying to reconcile the figures, and so that matter is still in court. Don't you think that that could be a reason why they do not want to put in money to complete the Sagleme project?
I think that you have even put the matter into proper perspective. Reasonably, why do you sell a subject matter that is being contested in court?
Okay.
So when court finishes its proceedings, proceedings, I should say, and comes out with a verdict that what is his name? The then minister of Collins Dawda, because then he is the victim of circumstance now. If government should say that Collins Dawda, if is culpable or misappropriated the funds that were given to him, and so he should be arrested or whatever, and Sagleme by that time is sold, what will be the evidence that will be tendered in court? By then the private developer would have developed afar. And so the state at which Collins Dawda may have left the affordable housing unit cannot be the same exhibit that will be tendered in court. So the point is that it is even in court. So you would have waited until the court comes out with its final submission, so like verdict. Then we can say that this is the true position of the court. So henceforth, this is the directive of the court. But you see, in as much as I believe in some justices in our country, I don't even believe wholly in our justice system. And as youth and as leaders of now, because we are not leaders of future, we are leaders of now, we need to take a keen interest in how our court is like reconfigured. Our judges and judiciary is reconfigured. You can't have a situation when a certain president keeps packing the court and journalists are silent. The president keeps packing the court and the chief justice smiles. The president keeps packing the court and parliament hasn't called anybody. The president keeps packing the, you know, that there's no cap if like ceiling to how many people should be called to be Supreme Court justices, if like justices of the appellate courts, resonating through all the other court ranks and so forth and so on. So chances are that on this matter, because it is government position to want to sell Sagleme, I'm not saying, because that would be prejudice to conclude that that will be a determination of the court, or that will be the verdict the court will come out with. But based on some precedent, a historical antecedent, you understand, I can conclude without any fallacy or hasty generalization that chances are that if this matter should even, you know, finish in courts, the government can even be given the go-ahead to sell Sagleme. By then, where will we be standing? We have sold almost all the very important things in our nation. Now, we have sold Ghana Airways. It's now a choba. It's not a restaurant, a choba. We have sold the Black Star Line. We have sold Ghana's drill ship. Almost all the important is Ghana Telecom is now Vodafone and whatnot. Are we sitting down to see Sagleme also die like all those properties of the nation? Now, what has the government added, you know, to the facilities already built, especially at a time when there's a 1.8 million housing deficit in our nation? So, my brother, we are not leaving this to chance at all. And this is not the normal MPP NDC youth matter. They go behind MPP, they go behind this, and the matter die on the way. No, they can't sell Sagleme. Not because they don't have the authority, but because Article 1 Clause 1 of the 1992 Constitution says that sovereignty lies in the people. Power emanate from the people. We are the people. We gave them the people. They are living on our proxy. They dare not sell Sagleme.
Okay.
They will sell it even to themselves.
If you just tune in, this is the Lowdown on GhanaWeb TV. My name is Daniel Odro. I'm here with Nana Utu Dako. Nana, are you a president of the group?
I call it another. I'm the lead convener.
Okay, so Nana Utu Dako is the lead convener of a group of people calling themselves Team Sagleme Not for Sale.
Exactly.
They are opposed to the government's decision to sell the Sagleme housing project to a private developer. We're going for a break. When we return, we'll continue a conversation with Nana Utu Dako. Stay with us. We're back after the break. Welcome back from the break. This is still the Lowdown with me, Daniel Odro. I'm having an interesting conversation about housing again. Last week, if you tune in, you realize that we had a conversation with the Rent Control Department and the Tenant Union of Ghana about the housing deficit in the country and the need for the country to have a proper roadmap in terms of how they are going to fix and solve that critical need of the citizenry. Government has decided to sell off the Sagleme housing project to a private developer, and a group calling itself Team Sagleme Not for Sale is opposed to that idea. Nana Utu Dako is the lead convener. He's been my guest the last several minutes. Nana, you want Ghanaians to have a place to lay their heads.
Exactly.
How do you care in what form and shape it comes, whether it's a private developer, whether it's from government? Why do you care that it should come from the government? Government has proven over the years that it's really incompetent in terms of the housing issue. The likes of SNET, the likes of Greta, they've done some amazing work in terms of, you know, building a lot of these housing units. Why can't a private developer help in that regard?
So I think that this your question will help us clear the doubts, if like ambiguity, of somebody thinking that we are against any private developer making ends meet. Of course. We also have family members who may have entered into other fields of endeavors, maybe including but not limited to real estate.
Right.
So that if this private developer seeking to buy Sagleme, for instance, is my uncle, somebody will say that wouldn't you be joyous that, you know, the proceeds definitely will come home to take care, you know, of the family and all those ones. So the argument must first be drawn and put on record that Team Sagleme in its entirety is not against the progress of any and every private developer, especially when most of these private developers are Ghanaians. Of course, when they get the returns, it will not be repatriated,
yes,
to be used in engaging, if like companies that will give even jobs to the youth and all those ones. Only that we are against a certain principle that is being broken. And I earlier indicated that the foundation of contracting that $200 million loan was to build affordable housing unit. And premium, my brother, must be placed on the word affordability.
Even that is subjective. Many have said that it was not going to be affordable anyway.
Exactly. So I did the maths that even if government is selling, it's not too affordable.
Yes.
So when a private-oriented businessman comes in, won't it even defeat the purpose the more?
Maybe government is willing to write off half of the loan and said, okay, we are going to take 100 million instead of the 200 million we invested into. So the investor...
The loan that we have contracted, that we are paying interest already?
It's a bad debt. It's bad debt. Sometimes you do business
like
and
you are going to
bad.
China to cancel your debt.
Exactly.
As if they did not fight for their own nation.
Exactly. Maybe that's the arrangement.
No, so those are assumptions. Those are assumptions that we can make. But I think that we will belabor the point if we conclude that maybe we are against some private developers somewhere or not. But what we are against is that, or if like what we are for is that government contracted a loan for a purpose.
Yeah.
Because if the foundation was not built on affordability, chances are that Parliament wouldn't have approved the loan.
Yeah, that I agree.
So
Maybe, and chances are that the chiefs would not have given the
exactly.
Land.
So Parliament approved the loans based on that purpose. We can even say that we have contracted the loans.
Yeah,
the interest will be borne by the ordinary citizens of this nation.
Right.
And that we are deciding that we are giving the whole affordable housing unit to the military or to the security services. Okay. They protect us in this nation. That they should not even pay a dime, or if like as mortgages.
Yeah.
We may lose in the short run, but in the long run, it will help us.
Okay.
So we must rather venture into a more productive arena than just wanting the easy side of life almost all the time. It's difficult. There are challenges with Saglemi. Obasanjo of Nigeria, former president, said, I think he intimated the point that if there were no challenges or problems, they will not call you as a government to lead a crusade.
Okay.
Because there are challenges, and because there will be challenges,
and
that we need solutions to the long-standing problems of our country. That is why we got in long queue to elect you, in making sure that you get solutions to our problems. You don't come and rehearse or re-echo our problems to us, that there are challenges with Sagleme, and that is why you want to say, easy way out. Massa, make sure that you finish Sagleme. And that is why you are leaders and the others are followers.
Okay.
You need to develop your thinking faculties at think tanks. Look at other, like arenas that will help you secure some funds in making sure that dreams becomes a reality.
Okay.
So, brother, we must also focus on one thing, which has to do with protecting heritage. Let me tell you this. Do you know why we are here? We are here because for long, the current generation have been treating the natural resources and the state properties and assets as their bona fide property. They think it's somewhat a heritage bequeathed onto them by the previous generation. So they sell the gold out without thinking, and that is why we have 5% out of the gold proceeds. They sell our oil out without thinking, and that's why we have only 13% of our oil proceeds. The timber, the cocoa, the least said about them, the better. Why? This is our property. All the resources underground is our property. So when we sell them off and we're able to use the money now, that is fine. But what they forget quickly, that they are rather custodians of the natural resources beneath, holding as custodians in trust of an unseen generation. So until we have a new mentality, give birth to a new mentality of holding all these properties, all these natural resources ahead of an unseen time, we will always get to this challenge.
Okay.
So, bro, we are thinking of a future. We are not selling Sagleme also because we want to protect it for a generation that will not be homeless.
Okay.
We want to protect it for some street children somewhere. We want to protect it for the multiplying number of kayayis on the streets.
Okay.
We want to protect Sagleme so that our children's children will come and say that our forebearers gave them property. They did not sell it off, but they held it in trust for our coming.
Okay, so Nana, have you engaged the minister? What has been his response, and what are you going to do next?
We began with some media interviews prior to the press briefing, and along the line, the minister called.
Okay.
That was before the Saglemi. In fact, I'm told he's called again after the Saglemi, but I've not had a chance to speak to him following there. So he called earlier that he wanted to meet us, that probably we don't even understand the issues.
Yeah.
Now, we gave him the benefit of the doubt, went to the Minister of Works and Housing, and met with him with an entourage of an expert team of some directors, I think including the chief director. Okay. They made their point, and of course, they fell on the same issue, that government is cash-strapped, they can't get $149 million, and that they want to use $55 million rather in building some 12,000 affordable housing units at Tamasame. Now, on the face value, you may want to support them, because if $200 million will give us just 1,500 housing units, then why don't we support the government? Because after all, only $55 million is giving us not 5,000 housing units, 12,000 housing units.
Okay.
It will interest you to know that in the course of our discussion, we realized that $55 million is just a chicken change that falls short of some 40% of the total amount of money needed to start and finish the project. And that even accounts for the role that government is supposed to play, which includes the provision of the land.
Okay.
So even if we do the mathematics, let's assume the land, should quantify it to be like $15 million. Take the $50 million or $20 million from the $55 million. You'll be left with some $30 million. Are you telling me that you can begin and end 12,000 housing units with $30 million?
Maybe they're small, moderate, local.
No, of the same standard.
Okay.
Of the same standard.
Maybe they'll use a lot more local input.
At this time, when the dollar is now 12, you see, Saglemina dollar is saying 4, and $200 million could give us 1,500 housing.
Maybe it was inflated, but so you don't believe that they can use the 55 million to build 12,000 units?
It was never true yesterday. It can't be true today. It will never be true tomorrow. $55 million cannot get us 12,000 affordable housing units.
Okay.
It's not enough just to build the flats. You need to construct the roads. You need to give water. Electricity must be taken into account. Street lights, so forth and so on. You must design the place to give it a serene atmosphere for people to occupy.
So you don't believe them from the beginning?
It's not even true. It's not possible. Okay. And the minister himself knows that they cannot use $55 million in finishing 12,000 affordable housing. So it was after my producer, he produces me on TV, Fugu, asked further that, are you saying that the $55 million is to build 12,000 housing? That he explained, gave proper explanations that no, the $55 million is supposed to be what government,
government commitment.
Government commitment. Okay. At a time when you don't even know who the private developer is. How much is the total project going to cost? They say they don't know.
So that 12,000 units is also going to be in partnership with the private developer?
Yes.
Okay.
So 60% will be from the private developer, and government will take
40%.
Yes, 40%.
Okay.
So we believe that going forward, maybe we must have a different trajectory, put this matter on a different wheel. Because when we further consulted and engaged the minister, like you asked me, I've been able to consult the minister. He tried, as a politician, he will want to convince you,
of course,
in making sure that you buy into the idea. But he is in for his government. It is our government. But maybe for his political party that brought the government. And we are supposed to be the gatekeepers of the nation. We are supposed to put that minister in check. Because we pay him. The house he sleeps in, we gave him. We gave him everything that makes him comfortable.
Have you had people accuse you that you are doing this for the NDC? You are doing the bidding of the NDC?
We don't care. That is what they have done in the past. And they have silenced
journalists. So that has happened. People have told you that you are doing a bidding of the NDC?
Not yet, but they will say it.
Okay.
But do you care?
No.
Let me tell you. Whatever you say or do will either exonerate one party or hurt the other. When it exonerates NDC, you are against MPP. But if it goes against NDC, they will tell you you are for the other parties, so forth and so on. And that is why journalists have been neutral for so long a time, that our nation is being destroyed. I am not a neutral journalist. I don't want to be a neutral journalist. Neutrality is not in my dictionary. I am that kind of journalist that add my weight to the truth whether it affects NDC positively or it affects them negatively, and the vice versa is true. So yes, let them say, let them talk, but posterity will be the greatest judge. Me, NDC atade the machine down, and NPP atade the machine down, and you want to be stay your small corner. Allow me lead the crusade for my people. Many years after, when we are dead and gone, the children that will come after us will say that these people did it right or not. It's not within the quarters of politicians to decide our fate.
Okay.
Not
Finally, what role would you play in the upcoming election? So the last time I had a conversation with the Tenants Union of Ghana, they said they are going to ensure that housing is a major conversation for the politicians, whether you're NDC, MPP, all those hopefuls. They want to see the roadmap they have for the housing deficit that we have in our country. Is your group going to play such a role? Are you going to insist that beyond Sagleme, because 1,500 units will not plug the whole of 1.8 or 1.9 million housing deficit that we have in our country? What role is your group going to play going forward?
Yes, I think that it's not only going to be a role, but a major role that will play, insisting that any new government that takes over governance will have to prioritize, this affordable housing thing.
Right.
We have a lot of our people displaced. A lot of them not only wallowing in poverty, but they do not have, a place to lay their head. So that whichever political party that you're demanding the thumbs or votes of the people, you must make housing your priority. So based on that, we'll be able to massage, the issues, draw conclusions that between or amongst this political target, we believe that based on the manifestos that have been presented, because currently we fall short of a national agenda plan. Right. So based on the manifestos that have been presented, we believe that this is the, if like, a political party that will help us going forward in 2024. This government, except they change, I don't know what their manifesto will talk about, in the coming days.
But they would have a different candidate. So definitely, Nanado will not be the same candidate. So maybe a different candidate would have a different plan.
But the candidate will inherit the successes or failure of Nanado. So that if Nanado did well, chances are that the candidate is the next president of the country.
Now we have to wipe the slate clean for all of them.
If the Nanado failed, no, we will not do that.
Okay.
We judge John Mahama based on his father Atamils.
Okay.
We will judge whoever ascends the reins of MPP's ticket on the performance of Akufo-Addo.
Okay.
It's about time.
Would that be fair?
It should be fair.
Because your ideology about housing may be different from mine, even though we may be in the same political party.
No, that is not limited to the confines of housing.
Okay.
I'm opening the argument up for leadership. Okay. For instance, if Mahama should be elected or re-elected to lead NDC, he was in government before.
Yes.
We gave him some quantum of money. He borrowed in our name. We will assess Mahama. What did you do with the amount of money we gave you? Then we go back to whoever leads MPP. So that, for instance, if it's Alan Martin or Dr. Bawumia, for instance, is the head of the economic management team.
Right.
Alan Martin is part of the economic management team. A great minister, they are cabinet ministers. Right. So it's not as if that they are now going to be tried. They've held several portfolios.
Right.
You can't come and tell me that judge me on a clean slate when you are part of a failed government. Okay. Certainly no. What I am saying, my brother, in entirety, may be away from the housing unit, but it's so important is that it's about time you and I and all of us rose up to defend our motherland. And that will mean that we must gather all arsenals to demand accountability.
Right.
What they will say, whether we are in MPP or NDC, should not be important to us. Okay. It's neither here or there. But we should ask ourselves, these dreams that we are pushing, these aspirations that we want Ghana to reach her full potential and get to that promised land of hope someday, are we on the right path? If we are, then certainly nothing should draw us back. Okay. But if we are becoming partisan, more than the word partisanship, that is when we will have to rethink at that table of brotherhood. We have been silent for too long, and our destiny is being destroyed by day. Our future is being stolen, especially by these two political factions. And it's as if we are sitting unconcerned. No, there's a break of a new dawn. Okay. We have looked beyond the horizon, and the youth of Ghana must now come together and take our nation
Okay.
They are destroying it.
Thank you very much, convener Nana Utu Dako. He's a lead convener for a group calling itself Team Sagleme, not for sale. They are opposed to government's decision to sell the Sagleme housing project. This has been another edition of The Lowdown with me, Daniel Odo, here on GhanaWeb TV. We're back another time with another exciting edition. Nana, thank you very much.
Not at all, sir.
And more grace to your elbow.
And you are doing great.
Keep
you
fighting.
asked very important questions. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for watching.
Welcome to the Ghana ICT Hub, a partnership between MTN Ghana and the Government of Ghana through the Ministry of Communications and Digitization. MTN pledged to support Ghana's digitization agenda in line with its ambition to lead the delivery of digital solutions for Africa's progress. In fulfillment of this pledge, MTN Ghana has committed $25 million toward the realization of the Ghana ICT Hub project. The objectives of the Ghana ICT Hub project is anchored on the following: to create an ICT-enabled environment for human capital and ICT skills development, to develop an ICT ecosystem through remote access delivery to facilitate job creation for national development, to provide a modern, state-of-the-art physical infrastructure to serve as a pillar for the digital Ghana agenda. The physical infrastructure, when completed, will provide 4,000 square meters of space with the following facilities: laboratories for technology training and research, innovation hub, co-working spaces for tech innovation startups, Tier 3 data center, conferencing facilities, offices and meeting rooms, commercial lettable spaces, gaming area, restaurant, ancillary facilities. The technology laboratories will be fitted with the next generation ICT equipment and applications to provide the youth of Ghana with practical training in Industry 4.0 technologies such as artificial intelligence, AI, machine learning, cloud computing, 3D printing, robotics, Internet of Things, IoT, advanced manufacturing techniques, cybersecurity, genetic engineering. The project also seeks to establish a complete ecosystem at the hub through remote access delivery to facilitate job creation for national development. The ecosystem shall comprise of MDAs, technology companies, startups, incubators, research agencies, leading universities globally, foundations worldwide, to create a community. 1. The ecosystem community shall bridge the divide between academia and industry and provide solutions to challenges in the key sectors of health, agriculture, and educational sectors of the economy. 2. It shall also run an innovation program providing mentoring and networking for the youth in tech startups. 3. The ecosystem community shall establish an innovation fund to support startups, research agencies, and other entities in the ecosystem. MTN Ghana and the Ministry of Communications and Digitization are championing the Ghana digital agenda for Ghana's development. Welcome to the digital age.
It's not easy because needs payments are really not enough. So you put aside some money, you invest some money in bonds and T-bills so you can supplement this next income with that. But right now, the investment is like zero. You are getting nothing at all. So it's not easy. You know, inflation and the difficulties that we are having. So we are being affected badly. And that is why we are back here.
And how long can you continue on this trajectory? What are your expectations from government?
I expect government to pay coupons and principals as they fall due. That's what I expect. I mean, we will do this for as long as it takes.
Very, very bitter, because if I wanted somebody to betray me, not the government, not the state, the one that I swore allegiance, even at the peril of my life. And if I didn't die in Cambodia, I didn't die in Liberia, I didn't die in Sierra Leone, I didn't die anywhere I was sent out. Come back home Now I used not to, but I take a lot of drugs. A lot of drugs.
Because you have to keep up with that lifestyle.
Yes, it's not a lifestyle. The body, when you are young, you don't feel it. I used to wear beard. When you are young, you feel very strong, and that is how I felt. And for that, I used that energy in the service of the state, in the service of the government. So at this time, when I'm virtually in the last part of my life here on earth, I don't expect to be treated this way. At least if I have to die, I want to die happy. You see, not to in the struggle for something that I have given to the person I trusted most. You see, that is my worry. And so that is what I say. If you are saying I feel betrayed, I say betrayal is a very mild, I don't know if you have another word, you see, but I really feel betrayed.
So you were here some few months, you are back here again. How long can you go on with this? And what's the expectation from government?
I expect that if the Commander-in-Chief sees that we are here struggling to get our own monies back, he will chip in a word so that we are giving our monies. We should not be treated this way. After all the sacrifices that we did for the country when we were young, when we had the ability to jump, run, and obey orders. Now go and rest. The little money too that I have, you say no, you will not give it. So how do I buy my medications and so on? How do I care for those who are looking up to me until I'm called home? You see, and I think that the government should think about it again and give us our money.
The minister exempted us. By exempting us, it meant that he told us that, look, I have this problem. This is how I'm going to solve it. But with you, you're okay. Stay out. I will take care of you. Whatever contract I had with you from the beginning will go by that contract. That contract said that on the 1st of March or February or whatever, I'll pay you your coupon. Pay the coupon. On such and such a date, your bond will mature. I'll give it to you, you know. And before we take our coupons, what you need to spend, you spend. If you want to roll it over, you reinvest it. You collect your principal. If you don't need it immediately, you reinvest it. All of this stays in the banking system. Right now, when you get your money, you are pulling it out. So even that will hurt, you know, eventually to help hurt the banking system, because we don't even want to leave it there. You know. So yes, that is where we are. Pay us our money and let us just take care of our needs.
Welcome to the Ghana ICT Hub, a partnership between MTN Ghana and the Government of Ghana through the Ministry of Communications and Digitization. MTN pledged to support Ghana's digitization agenda in line with its ambition to lead the delivery of digital solutions for Africa's progress. In fulfillment of this pledge, MTN Ghana has committed $25 million toward the realization of the Ghana ICT Hub project. The objectives of the Ghana ICT Hub project is anchored on the following: to create an ICT-enabled environment for human capital and ICT skills development, to develop an ICT ecosystem through remote access delivery to facilitate job creation for national development, to provide a modern, state-of-the-art physical infrastructure to serve as a pillar for the digital Ghana agenda. The physical infrastructure, when completed, will provide 4,000 square meters of space with the following facilities: laboratories for technology training and research, innovation hub, co-working spaces for tech innovation startups, Tier 3 data center, conferencing facilities, offices and meeting rooms, commercial lettable spaces, gaming area, restaurant, ancillary facilities. The technology laboratories will be fitted with the next generation ICT equipment and applications to provide the youth of Ghana with practical training in Industry 4.0 technologies such as artificial intelligence, AI, machine learning, cloud computing, 3D printing, robotics, Internet of Things, IoT, advanced manufacturing techniques, cybersecurity, genetic engineering. The project also seeks to establish a complete ecosystem at the hub through remote access delivery to facilitate job creation for national development. The ecosystem shall comprise of MDAs, technology companies, startups, incubators, research agencies, leading universities globally, foundations worldwide, to create a community. 1. The ecosystem community shall bridge the divide between academia and industry and provide solutions to challenges in the key sectors of health, agriculture, and educational sectors of the economy. 2. It shall also run an innovation program providing mentoring and networking for the youth in tech startups. 3. The ecosystem community shall establish an innovation fund to support startups, research agencies, and other entities in the ecosystem. MTN Ghana and the Ministry of Communications and Digitization are championing the Ghana Digital Agenda for Ghana's development. Welcome to the digital age.
Now,
Obek Kanokre. Susu sang kwai bia wan to nam bia e man in kwai bebre.
Mommy, you fish can see about Kotoso. Pepoga, send me sika from Lemonade Finance. While Brian did the shit and let me £2.
Lemonade Finance.
Say they're sending money back home from UK, Canada, and now US. I accepted a instant charges. Bien, extinguishing in so ye. Unbeatable. We should be promo code Dr. Like menya £10, $10, and $10 Canadian for the first transaction. What is send this guy akofino? Download to Lemonade Finance.
They can promise to look alike. Charlie can promise the first boy. Everybody gets stats. Fine. We all have throwback Thursdays. But I know be this one.
Once again, we are back to discuss issues relating to the arts and entertainment with a touch of wit. Hello and welcome to eForum on GhanaWeb TV. The name is Abrantipa. Today we are looking at the celebrity lookalikes, and later on we'll focus on Jidubliambule and KOD. I'm sure you've been following the events, a bit of back and forth, but Romeo, Ambassador Romeo is Medina Assemblyman and Medina Social Welfare Assemblyman, event organizer, artist, manager, a poet, former comedian. Romeo, Romeo, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
If you are fine, Medina for say. Kwesi Martinez is a film producer and then entertainment analyst. Kwesi, thanks for joining us. If you are fine.
Oh, you're doing.
Last time, I think Sena Miche TV, I've forgotten the channel. And I am say, oh, Abrantipa share me tenea. Say me look alike net soon. Where's your look alike, Anna?
Dabi.
Unyan shy. Romeo shall look alike.
As will be 7 by me own it.
But you see, this, I think the last time we had this conversation was when the whole thing started. There was this Kwame Eugene look-alike who took a picture with Kwame Eugene at, I think, Angel FM Studios or so. And since then, we've seen Kiddy, and now there is Medical, there is King Promise. And they are going for interviews and are you comfortable with the fact that we have all these celebrity lookalikes all over, wherever you pass, and the fact that they are coming out with even a song and they are going around for radio interviews.
I don't have a problem with people having that craze or crave of looking like someone, or the fact that there seems to be some little resemblance, so they want to capitalize on it to show themselves to fame. But my problem has to do with the media houses, giving audience to people of sorts. My reasons being that there's a lot of underground artists who are doing well, who are looking for avenues to project their jobs, their works. These people are not giving the opportunity, but there's a group of people who are capitalizing on other people's fame. And you're giving them audience at the expense of the original artist. Like, sort of like having a parody, replica account. And then someone is running an interview, and sometimes, to some extent, they end up even performing their songs. Remember this guy, I think he's late, the guy who was Anochi Supremo. You know, he had that kind of, in all sense, even the voice, everything looks, you would think is actually Lumba's son. That's how other people projected him to be. And for him, his stance was even that he saw Daddy Lumba as a father. So he wanted to get close so that he will also, through that, he'll be modeled and become someone better. But then Daddy Lumba also didn't like the idea, because it looks like I'm a legend, I'm rated high, and before someone gets me to perform, people go through so much. People only hear of me when they're playing my song online, or it's a CD or pen drive or whatever. But if it has to do with performance, it has to go through me. But Anochi Supremo was doing those like mini performance, so people will not miss the real Daddy Lumba, because they could have, even if not the originality, they could have someone who could deliver that flavor. And it's bad business. Honestly, it's bad business. It's a different ball game if the person has a band, and then you join the band, and you are performing together. You're also building your CV or repertoire of sounds, so that in future, even when you're alone, like the Ofurian Ponsers, who later became men of their own, it's fine. But picking the person's image and feeding from it, for me, it's a no-no. Just like social media, if not for the blue ticks on Twitter and then that of Facebook, it's easy for people to have a parody account to act like someone, and it's criminal. So my problem is not even with the people. My problem has to do with the media houses who are giving audience to those people, and everyone will start using anyone's image, or in the name of look-alike. You get it? No, like it doesn't sit well. Maybe problem in media houses, no. Because a lot of people in the fray who are looking for opportunities.
But these people too may have talents. You heard me say that they are coming out with a song, and there are quite a number of people who seem intrigued by the fact that they have a song.
Abrantipa, until recently, where they're having a song together, most of them perform. When you talk about Kiddie Look-alike, you try performing Kiddie song. If you talk about even the guy like the medical look-alike, he tried to rap like medical. You get it? The looks fine. People look up to people, but the commercial aspect is where my problem is. You get it? When artists are even struggling to make shows, to even get find avenues to even promote their things, if not for social media, and then these people are occupying all those spaces which in real sense were meant for the original artist. So it makes it very difficult.
Martinez, if you were one of these artists and you are not being impersonated, but people are coming to me for the mere fact that I look like you, so they want me at an event, not to perform your song, but I mean, this is Kwame Eugene look-alike, this is Kiddie look-alike. They are not impersonating you in any way. They have not gone to take any money to say, I am Kwame Eugene, I'm coming to perform. Would you be perturbed?
Well, it depends. I mean, if there's that communication, if I'm actually aware of what is going, if it's explained properly or clearly for me to actually understand the whole vibe, maybe I might not be that angry. Might be cool with me, because like you said, I think Romeo rather, Anoche Supremo, Dio Jr. They met Lumba. And at a point they even performed together. Lumba was happy to see him. Because it's very interesting. There's that belief that every human being is created 3 or 4. And so you one day meet someone that challenge yourself, you see yourself in that person. When it comes to look alike, it's normal. Even our kids start from home. Okay, your daughter or your son, that's your look alike. But where maybe the media gives it attention is the fact that these are celebrated people or personalities, and we have some guys or some people from nowhere just looking like them. Definitely attention will be given to them. Not as maybe promoting them, but it's news, it's story, it's entertainment. Yes. So for me, I think it's normal. It's cut across celebrities having looks alike around, especially when you go into the football circles. We've seen Neymar look alike, and he looked just like Neymar. We've seen Messi. At a point, he became a very huge problem, especially with the Messi look-alike, because there was rumor that he has called 23 women. Allegedly, he has called 23 women. Because when they see him, they think that's Messi.
One of the points Romeo raised was that it's affecting the original acts, because the attention that should have been given to them, which you have addressed, I mean, the point of the media. There are some who say that what they are doing, what the lookalikes are doing, will increase the streams of the original acts. Is that the case for you? Do you see that, or that's far-fetched?
I understand where Romeo is coming from, because obviously, whether we like it or not, they will take something from the artist. It doesn't matter them maybe playing shows or performing to people, that aside. But once you see them, attention will be switched to them. So clearly they take something from the artist. At a point you might not feel comfortable, depending on how attention is given to him or her. And that is where Romeo is coming from. For the first time, once you spot them, it is news. But when we give them too much attention, or when we give credence to their image, that is where it somehow becomes right, because you give them some kind of recognition, and at a point they will feel big, they start, in fact, they will act like them. Maybe they might, like I said earlier, they might not play shows in the name of the artist, but